With the release of AFK Journey this week, there is going to be a lot of new players, and if you're one of them, I want to fill you in on some of the mistakes I've made so you can avoid them. Most of these include loads of diamonds and invite letters I'd missed out on through playing, and things I overlooked that stunted my progression. Quick one, don't forget to buy your cheap daily invites. If you buy these every day, you'll be getting a 10 pull for 2,100 diamonds instead of 2,700. Every month, you'll be saving yourself 1,800 diamonds, which if you keep this up for 9 months, that's a total of 60 pulls you've made in savings. Alongside the 270 you've already bought at a discount, that's an entire S-level character in less than a year for a couple clicks a day. Mistake 1 is giving up on AFK stages. If you're stuck at an AFK stage, it's very likely you can actually beat it, and you just need to rearrange some units on the board or adjust your resonance. In this clip, I originally had Odie in my strongest resonance slot, but after swapping him with Thorin, it allowed him to tank more efficiently. This is a massive difference. I went from losing the battle to winning with only one unit dying. I've often been able to beat stages that are sometimes 5,000 to 7,000 power stronger than my team, just by trying different positions, units, and shifting the resonance of my team. If you're still struggling, you can find other players' replays by clicking the button down here. This should help if you're unsure on what team and layout to use. Mistake number 2. Do not ignore faction bonuses. Faction bonuses can sometimes make or break fights for you because of the buffs you receive. In this clip, I'd been trying an AFK stage with a team that had no faction synergy. I was just getting rolled with 3 of their units still alive. After changing the team to have 4 maulers, the additional 18% attack and HP partially won me the fight. The faction bonus should not be the focus when you are building a team. In this example, it was more of a DPS check. It worked nicely to shift from a more defensive team to an offensive one, conveniently opening me up to a mauler-orientated team. So make sure not to overlook what the team is lacking just to force a faction bonus. Another mistake is not joining a guild. Guilds are a must, and you need to join one ASAP. Guilds give you exclusive resources by participating in battle drills. Doing so will reward you with keys and guild metal, which help you unlock celestial and hypergens. The keys are also used to open these chests, and they give us another steady source of diamonds. Personally, and I'm pretty sure mathematically, it is better in the long run to make sure to go with the Stalwart chest because you're always going to receive some form of diamonds, but if you're a gambling degenerate, you can spam the other one, but I would probably boil that down to being a mistake if it never pays off. The next biggest mistake is not buying additional AFK loot. Your AFK loot is your biggest resource stream for progression and leveling your team. It shouldn't be overlooked that you can spend some diamonds to get an additional 2 to 4 hours of loot a day. I don't personally think you should be spending these diamonds if you're free to play and you're not too stressed with being a top player on your server, but if you are a light spender, I think the 50 diamonds goes a long way in the long run for your account. Similar to AFK loot, not using arena refreshes is something I overlooked as well. Even if you are playing casually, there is some big potential here for you to push into the higher ranks in arena because of how many servers there are. Unless you're on the bigger, more competitive servers from 1 to 7, from what I've heard, and you're on some random server like myself on server 52, it's likely your server only has a few whales, and it's not out of the question for you to eventually push into the top 100 and start receiving more rewards from arena. It only costs a few gems a day for additional tickets, and I personally buy 1 to 2 tickets extra a day just to make sure I'm progressing that little bit faster than the average player. The next mistake you might be making is ignoring some of the other rewarding game modes. It's easy to focus on Arena and Dream Realm as they are the main competitive game modes with leaderboards that you unlock early on, but the other game modes shouldn't be overlooked. They do have a bunch of extra rewards. I find Honor Duel to be a ton of fun for trying out new units and teams I don't have, and there's also 700 diamonds and 2 pulls waiting for you here. Arcane Labyrinth is another great source of loot in particular. It's one of few ways to get epic invite letters, and there are more rewards later on from what I've heard. And finally, Legend Trials. These are faction-locked trials you can challenge daily, except for Sundays where you can trial all of them, and it gives a bunch of ascension and leveling materials. The next mistake is ignoring open world loot. It's very easy to lock in on auto routing through the quest, and that's fine. It's important that you're keeping your story capped down and focusing on that, but make sure you're going back and collecting chests and fights that you've skipped along the way. You receive diamonds based on your exploration in these areas, and there's possibly lots of pulls that you've skipped past. Don't worry though, the beauty in leveling so quick is when you go back to these areas, you can use the execute system to clear through the camps and grab the loot you missed. I love this system so much. On the topic of world loot, there is a bunch of extra diamonds you've probably missed out on. Around the world, there is plenty of affinity items to collect. They are normally flowers and things alike, and you're going to want to be picking these up. These are used to boost your affinity with characters of your choice. Getting each character to affinity level 100 gives you 50 diamonds, and that only costs 1 of these flowers. With enough flowers, and if you had every unit minus the celestial and hypergens, that is 1,900 diamonds waiting for you to claim in your roster. And finally, the mistake you'll regret the most is not redeeming the active codes. I'll leave all the current active codes in the pinned comment below, but there is literally a couple thousand diamonds waiting for you in codes to redeem. So go claim them before it's too late. That's everything I wanted to cover in this video. If you haven't seen my video earlier this week about who to wishlist, that's on my channel, so go check it out here. This is a new channel, so if you are new, please subscribe as we're going to be doing lots of AFK Journey content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.